Good day everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be discussing Black Clover. So of course, spoiler warning before we begin. Um and yeah, let's dive into Black Clover chapter 312 now. So the title of this chapter is Before the Door of Hell, or Before the Doors of Hell. And the chapter essentially starts off when the last one ended, with all of the Black Bulls crashing into Morris's, and they're using Henry's giant bull-shaped ability, not ability, but his ability where he turns the mansion where the Black Bulls stay, their hideout, into the big bull to attack. They're basically attacking with the hideout in the bull form, and they crash straight into where Morris is, and we see all of them are speaking. And like we broke on a lot of buildings doing this, and they're like, this is the enemy, we're in Spade Kingdom. Basically small talk, nothing important. But we see that Lotus, is it Lotus or Locust? The one who lost the arm, he's relieved that more lunatics have dropped in, and that's very helpful. And Dorothy is like, great time in Black Bulls. It's so nice to see you again. So they get in safe basically. Dante or Morris is like, Dante told me about you you guys, so you know, I was kinda expecting y'all. So I have a plan. And Dante begins using his magic, and we see double arms being joined and fused and stuff, and he's like, it'll be very satisfying to dissect you all. I can't wait to get started. And this gives off the crazy scientist vibes, kind of like Mayuri from Bleach. But yeah. So we get the whole Black Bull team attacking, and we see essentially they use or if not they, I think it's more using modification magic operation, and we find out Rogue's power isn't working to stop his modification. So that's interesting. We then get this girl's, I forgot her name, Grey. Is it Grey? Yeah, I think it's Grey. Grey's attack fortification magic is what they call it now, because remember her magic kinda changed when she healed that next one from the sword inside of him. Names seem to be jumping out of my mind because we haven't seen this Black Bulls in so long. So, Ghosh, when Ghosh was stabbed through the chest, she healed him and her magic changed. So they're calling it fortification magic now. So, interesting. But Ghosh seems to have a combination attack now with Grey, and he uses his mirror magic, Mirror Brigade, and Grey uses magic conversion, and it seems to be a bunch of flowers. So that's interesting. A bunch of flowers. And in order to counter all of this, Morris simply uses gravity magic. Presence of the Demon King. Of course, we've seen this attack with Dante before. So, interesting, but strong enough to stop this attack and pin everyone down. And while he's doing that, we see Gordon. We see a mini flashback of Gordon coming back. And we learn where Gordon was. So for the past 6 months, Gordon was training to turn his cursed magic into medicine somehow. And while he was able to do that, of course he was whispering and speaking, so everybody's still confused as to what he's saying. But the gist is he managed to evolve his magic. And he calls it Modified Poison Curse Magic. Curse Worker's Neighbor. Looking down to read the exact correct translation. And essentially he turns curses into strength. So he puts his hand on Henry, and this leads to Henry's hair getting shorter, and Henry isn't frail anymore. He becomes a normal human being without cursed magic on him. And this has me interested to see if Henry could use this ability on Charlotte to improve her curse of the roses and make her stronger. That would be very cool. But yeah, essentially what this does is it makes Henry stronger, and it allows Henry to choose whose magic he's going to absorb instead of absorbing everyone's magic. And of course he chooses Dante, or not Dante but Morris. I keep saying Dante but it's Morris, or maybe it is Dante still in there a little bit. But no, it's Morris. But essentially he's draining Morris's power to fuel himself, and they're attacking, and it seems to be that they're on the winning side, just barely winning. And we see a quick glimpse of a bunch of people bursting through, coming in, basically with a bunch of words saying they're here to save the day, they're here to help, this is a huge hole, everybody's here. And Morris is talking now, and he's saying, through all the experiments I made myself into a higher being, then I obtained the talents of the ultimate devil hosts. And before he could finish what he's saying, someone says, so you're the last enemy devil host, Magic Scholar Morris of the Diamond Kingdom. And we see someone has punched Morris in the face. So Morris was KO'd essentially. And someone yells, give us back our captain. And essentially the chapter ends with now every member of the Black Bull in front of Morris after punching him out. So this chapter was kind of, in my opinion, kind of boring and lackluster. Might have some people upset with me for saying that, but in my opinion this chapter was way too wordy. They tried to cram too much into it, so we got a bit slowed down because we had to get the backstory of Grey, how her magic evolved, the backstory of Henry, how his magic kinda evolved with Poison Dude, and his magic evolving to evolve Henry's. So a lot of storytelling that kinda bogged the chapter down. And yes, we know storytelling is essential, we need it, but in my opinion it kinda dragged this story down a little bit this time. But aside from that, it was a pretty good chapter. Hopefully we jump straight back into the resolution of them trying to take out Morris next week, and we see if he truly is the final villain, or is there someone else there that we need to take down. But yeah, all in all I'd give the chapter like a 7 out of 10. But yeah, I'll see you all next week for the next one, and of course let's hope we don't have a lengthy chapter filled with dialogue next week, only because we kind of want to avoid being a dialogue heavy chapter, because that kind of takes away from a battle. But yeah, I'll see you all next week for the next one.